So we're here with Michael Apuzzo. He is a dancer, an actor, and recently an author. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your journey as an actor and, a dancer, and which you became interested in first?
Okay, well, I kind of fell into this industry at the beginning when I was a child, and I was a TV news and kids reporter, and I just really liked being on television, and gradually that transitioned into doing community theater and neighborhood plays as a child, and I fell in love with the stage, and I thought it would always be really interesting to pursue this professionally, but I had no idea how to do that. And it wasn't until college that I thought, I have to make a decision and grow up at some point and maybe figure out how to be a professional performing artist.
Yeah, New York is coming to an
New
end.
York City.
Yeah, which is coming to an end. So why don't you talk a little bit about your favorite roles that you performed, and you've gone, I know you've gone on tour. So talk about some of the favorite places you've been.
Okay. Well, my first real break was actually when I was in college, and I got the opportunity to perform at Yale Repertory Theater in a brand new production of Miss Julie, which was being restaged. And it's a play, but it was also being choreographed by Peter Cucci. And that was one of my favorite roles just because it really combined this idea of acting and dancing within the same production in an original way that had not been done before. And I debuted it at Yale with the rest of the cast, and it was the opportunity that really made me think I want to do this professionally. And since then, I would say another major opportunity was to go and dance in Twyla Tharp's national tour of Moving Out, Broadway musical, and had a phenomenal opportunity to dance multiple roles in the show and tour everywhere with a show that was so well received, great musical Felix Joel. And lastly, dancing with the Paul Taylor Company, we also tour everywhere with amazing choreography that's well received wherever we go to. Some of the highlights I would say was dancing in Tel Aviv and Jerusalem when we were on a tour there. And just to be in another culture that's relatively so foreign, but realize that dance is a universal language that's understood really anywhere. That was a remarkable experience. So.
And now you mentioned that you performed for children's theater. You have written a book, Flying Through Yellow, that is geared towards younger people. Why don't you talk a little bit about the book?
Sure. So I wrote this book, Flying Through Yellow. It's right there. It just came out. It's about to be released, and I wrote it because I remember when I was growing up and started to get interested in the arts, and particularly when I was in high school, I wanted to know what it would be like to be a professional performing artist or pursue a career in that industry. And I really had no idea how to do it and didn't have a contact where to go to turn. And in fact, when I was 16, I was looking for a book about this and couldn't really find one. So I wrote this book with that in mind, writing it for someone like me in that position in life. In years where you're trying to determine your path. So it's a young adult novel. It's a short story, and it's nonfiction. It talks about certainly my journey into the arts, which was very abnormal, going from an interest in acting and then going to Yale to pursue economics, and then finally realizing that I wanted to dance, and then ended up here with the book. but it's also a book for any artist to really figure out what they want to do in life and pursue it. And so the idea of Flying Through Yellow is that, you know, take the analogy that life is a road and we stop at red and we go at green. What do we do with the yellow lights? You know, we have to fly through them to get to where we want to be. And I think especially as an artist, that's the only course of action. So.
And I know you're going into rehearsals very soon. What are you going to be working on?
Yes, so we have a lot of work to do. Rehearsing with the company, with the Taylor company now, we have about 20 dances in our repertoire at any given time, and a lot of those dances are cycled through every season. So we're about to start our fall season, and we'll be touring with many of those dances. So we're working on reassembling those pieces, and which will ultimately culminate at our Lincoln Center season in New York next year. And when I'm not dancing with Paul Taylor, I'm often doing other arts-related projects here in the city. You know, particularly when I first moved here, this is a wonderful place to get on camera, even doing background work, and I still do that occasionally for episodics being shot here. Or I'll do dance industrials or short-term projects, which I can fit into my schedule. So I kind of like to be busy, but am thankful that I can be busy at the same time.
Now that you're primarily focused on dance, is it weird to go back when you do the acting side of things? Does it take a while to get yourself honed back in, or?
Sometimes, although I go to see plays on Broadway in my free time. You know, I kind of get enough dance at work, and so I like to dip back into other things. But, you know, especially in 2012, I feel like you have to be ready to do anything and everything, and almost, trying to be a triple threat isn't necessarily enough. You have to keep your skills sharp in all areas. So I like the challenge, you know, and it's something I'm still working at. I mean, I still take dance class, I still have an acting coach, I have singing lessons. You know, it's something that you always want to keep your craft developing to stay interested in this business. And New York is certainly a great place to do that.
And now where can people buy your book?
So you can go to the book's website, which is flyingthroughyellow.com, or link it through my website, michaelapuzzo.com, and it's about to be released on Amazon as well.
Perfect. Thank you so much for taking time to do this. I appreciate it.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Good luck with the book.